Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris in our Song of the Stars series. So we are currently doing a bunch of things at once, just like we were at the beginning of the last episode, but I felt like I was just all over the place for a bit and looking at different events. We terraformed up a planet down here randomly out of nowhere. Asterion 2A. Actually, it's a pretty nice planet. It has 20 slots, and it's 95% habitable by some of our member races. And of course, we could put droids on it, looks like, as well, and it'd be 100% habitable. That's something I haven't experimented with yet, and I probably never will, but it's an interesting thought. We're also building up our fleets, because we want to make sure that we remain more powerful than the Cope and Jaxi hegemony. All right, we just got a habitability boost. That's going to help us in a lot of ways. Oh, wow. We can go for another habitability boost right now. Gene tailoring. Ooh. This gives us an extra trait point. I am still nervous about building the Loop Institute, but the extra trait point, that is... Yep, let's go for it. That's exciting. That is not something I've messed with before in Stellaris, but it's just going to show you... It goes to show that we're approaching a level of ascendancy that is going to be pretty cool. It's going to give us an extra trait point. Presumably we can pick an extra trait, or we might just evolve one. I don't know. All right, we're almost done with our new ships. So they're heading to the first Namagnoli, and then I'm going to reorient them. The Kavarian Interstellar Hive has made peace with the Lavis Autocracy. Where's the Lavis Autocracy? Right here? Good for you guys. So these guys, how are you? These guys are equivalent to us, so this is actually the largest threat to us that we face. They're on the other side of the galaxy from us, but they are strong. Until I build up some additional ships, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. All right, so now we're ready to build some cruisers. I think I needed to build, was it 13?
Anomaly found.
All right, so some of our deliberately crafted structures on the planet's surface pointing toward a past long forgotten. Research it.
Anomaly found.
Class 12 asteroid orbits this moon. Good God, so many pop-ups. Survey of Clea 2 has revealed that certain parts of the planet are home to a primitive alien protociv. Interesting, where is this? Okay, that's just the unstable asteroid. Clea is all the way over here. We're definitely getting some exploration done. Our science ships are all out here exploring in this direction and not finding any civs, which is great. It just gives us room to expand. Okay, yeah, we need to build cruisers. That's what I was thinking about. So... we just need to double up on our big ships. Make sure that we have plenty of those. All right, Furtist is building the colony ship that's going to head out towards Iriamen. And once Iriamen is populated, we're going to be able to populate more planets in the area as well. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that to see what else we can do. Also, we have a couple of tomb worlds that are being terraformed up. This one should be nearly done. Oh, wait, nope. Just kidding. Still a long way to go. All right, what do we have? The planet Cephalbach 1A is a toxic wasteland, but our scans unveil that it has not always been so, and now extinct civilization seems to have destroyed its home planet, via a heavy reliance on climate-altering fuels and toxins. Oh yeah, we've seen this maybe about 10 episodes ago. So scrap it for materials. That's all we can do. It's interesting that this tomb world is actually habitable. I could colonize it right now with certain members of my faction without terraforming it, which is crazy. All right, so we've got the asteroid bonus there. Cruisers are being built actively.
System survey.
I want to see what our fleet capacity is sitting at before I build more battleships.
Complete.
No upgrades currently needed. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and transfer. Oh, there's actually... All right. Done. I was expecting there to be 5 in each, but there were 6 battleships in one fleet. So we're going to have an extra battleship. But that's fine, because like I was just saying, I might build more battleships. Our colony ship is hopefully on its way. And I have several idle construction ships. Fairly soon, we will have access, once we colonize out in this direction, we'll have access to satramine gas, which will help with ethics divergence and make sure that slaves and voices populations alike are less likely to become ethically different from us. Okay, let's go ahead and put you back on auto explore. Do the same thing with this one. Actually, let's upgrade you first. Upgrade you. The hyperdrive 3 is also being researched right now, and I can't wait for that to be done because, hey, faster jumping is always a good thing.
System survey complete.
Okay, let's research that. So we just have ridiculous amounts of worlds that we can colonize, that our slaves could colonize, and that really no one is contesting us for. It's
System survey complete.
it's a similar situation to my for Queen and Country series that's currently running. It's like running into Iberia there and realizing there's nobody here, and I can take all of this territory for myself. All right, let's put you on auto explore. Same with you. So we're gonna have a lot of science ships. The Lum Lusolis' crew is reporting that they found something spectacular on Hodgem 6. On the surface lies traces of an explorative expedition of another civilization. Left behind are some well-preserved documents and artifacts. The proposed action by Chief Sciencer Zempus Cayusto is to send the text findings to a homeworld for translation. There's also the possibility to sell them to a private investor. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to translate the explorer's texts. Research them. All right, so the Worm in Waiting quest is still going. That's, by the way, the Horizon Signal. Okay, so our conversions of some of these worlds is not going well. We've had a lot of unfortunate warnings pop up, which is the game's way of telling us that things aren't going well. Is that our colony ship?
Evading hostile fleet.
What? Where? Okay, so hostile fleet there, and I'm going to need to give you new orders then. Ruby stack. Oh, what do we have? Zempus Cayusto died. Oh, that's a shame. We've got a couple of good replacements, though. Yep, Milas Kajatek. You are our new scientist. Welcome.
Hostile fleet. Anomaly found.
We are picking up life signs coming from somewhere within the interior of this asteroid. This definitely warrants a closer investigation. Well, research it then. What are you talking to me for? Okay, so our Quora has died. Now, I don't remember much about her. So Golith is now... Oh, yes, that's right. So our naval capacity has just skyrocketed under our new leader. We have a new Quorum Apparent, who also has... who has a ship upkeep bonus. So we're going to be warlike for a couple of generations here. Spyron Foundation entered into a non-aggression pact with Unified Mervandia Commonalities. So it's a mega corporation. I don't know where you are, though. Why would you go into a non-aggression pact with them? They're nowhere near you. Yeah, you're all the way down here. What's happening? Alright, so we had a couple of people die. Let's get rid of those. And then this colony ship should be on its way. Yep, there it is. This colony ship is going to change a lot as soon as we have a colony headed out that way. Oh, interesting. Asteroid fauna. These creatures should be studied. As soon as we have a colony ship here, these colonies are going to be... Wait, what's happening here? Defensive pact. And the Sakashi hierarchy as well. Just curious, what relationships do you have? Non-aggression pact, closed borders. All right, so you guys are going to be a little bit easier targets for war. What traits do you have? You're rivals with a lot of people. So the universe is going to be pretty happy. Yeah, they don't stand a chance against us. We can honestly declare war on them, and probably we could wipe the floor with them in the next couple of episodes if we wanted to. That'd be a nice way to end this phase of the series, wouldn't it? Just demolish the Cope and Jaxie hegemony. It'd be fun. Still building cruisers, by the way.
Special project complete.
Oh, cool. The translation's done. So this is the philosophical mindset edict, which I'm pretty sure we already have. So cool, not so cool. This science ship, you need to just go back and upgrade. Wow, look at this. So many worlds that are colonizable. We just need to get out there. It's too expensive to colonize too far beyond our borders, which is why we're waiting with bated breath for our colony ship to get out there. Okay, research it then. So it's at Ascension's end. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps away. 3 jumps away. We also need to colonize those 2 worlds, to tell you the truth. Could I go ahead and do that? Would it be expensive? Nope, just 30. Let's do it. So the voices could colonize this now. We could have 50% colonizability if we just use the voices. Or we could use Kasalosh. But remember, I need to pick one that is going to be peaceful. So pacifist. No, we don't want individualist. Definitely not. We want collectivist. Spiritualist sounds good. So they grow faster. Let's put them here. And we're going to land right there. This is going to be Null. Let's leave it that way. Null Fianita. So that's that. And then up here we should also have the ability to colonize Elatheon. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. This, by the way, is an alpine world. So same population is our candidate. Unless there's... Hang on. Unless there's another that would be better. I don't like this system. It scrolls all the way down whenever I load any of these up. It's so obnoxious. I just want to see what my other populations are. Alright, that would be 40%, so not useful. Okay, yeah, let's just send some of these guys. So spiritualist, collectivist. Do we have a fanatic collectivist spiritualist by chance? No, we don't. Peace, happiness plus 15%. Yeah, let's go with these guys. You're going to land right here. This is going to be Null Eliathon, or Eliathion. Lots of colonies being set up.
System survey complete.
How much would it take to start a colony here? Huh, 277. A little bit more.
Construction complete.
Just a little bit more. What about here?
Construction complete.
149. That's better, so we need to colonize there next. That needs to be a Voices colonies, or it needs to be a Voices colony. It appears that the asteroid Foundling and the surrounding debris originates from a... Okay, there's an asteroid called Foundling. There we also have a ship named Foundling. Deep within the center of the asteroids, we can find traces of extremely valuable minerals. There are also hints of bacterial life that has now died in the vacuum of space. This shows us that the celestial body once bore the promise of life. Amazing. Science ship. Okay, you go back and auto-explore then. This construction ship is done, so we got a little bit more research out of that. Any other construction ships on the borders that can do things? Not just yet, but our colonies are about to be set up, so this construction ship is about to have a lot of work to do. Another unfortunate update from our assimilation efforts. Not good. Okay. Research stations, go.
System survey complete.
Where's this one?
Construction complete.
Right there.
Evading hostile fleet. System survey complete.
Their populations may now move freely between the two empires. Okay, so Kuvarian Interstellar Hive and the Spirans. Interesting. Migration treaty has just been set up. Huh. So these guys are trying to get closer to me. That's how I'm interpreting that movement. Not that it's actually true, but that's what it feels like. Just saying. Oh wait, Null Iria. Hang on. Yeah, so this needs, a lot of this needs to be added to Sexaya. So let's scroll down to our sectors. And yep. That. Okay, and I think that's actually going to be it for Sexai. We might start another sector with these new colonies. Someone actually asked me in a comment, like, why are your sectors so small? Why don't you have bigger sectors? And it was just a comment out of curiosity. But I actually have never had any issues with sectors rebelling in Stellaris, so I don't know what it's like. So the reason that I kind of build them like this is I look at the size of my space versus the size generally of... And it's a very arbitrary judgment. It's just based on the spatial size. It's not based on the number of colonies. So you could have higher density, for instance. You could have the same size as this, but more planets in one area. But I feel like if I just manage, just in my own head, the size, the literal size of sectors to where no one sector is too huge, then if there ever is a rebellion problem down the line, then that would be less of an issue. That's my thinking, if that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and go to automatic exploration with you. We have a construction ship over here with nothing to do. This construction ship, however, has plenty to do. Also, it looks like Osmodin is now within our space. That's great news. So let's coop some orders for that to be built up. And we, of course, have colony ships on the way to a couple of other ships, or planets as well. Atmospheric readings from Beiruta 3 do not match simulated projections. Well, then look into it, please. This is an arid world. Gunpowder has been discovered by the primitive alien civilization on Jindet. This has revolutionized warfare with large cannons, rendering many of their citadels obsolete. The use of explosives has also benefited many engineering projects, as troublesome obstacles can now be more easily removed. Even now, their chemists are experimenting with new creative applications for this invention. We'll see how they use it. So this is in Jindet, which is actually in our core territory. We're not able to do anything to them yet, as far as assimilating them. And that's actually going to be problematic when that happens. We might want to just eliminate them when it happens. Okay, good. Somewhere below the ice storms and above the permafrost of Rodan F3, there is movement. So yeah, we have a couple colony ships on the way. Yeah, that could be bad when that happens, because we don't have room in our sector limit. Adds the shadow play modifier. Alright, so that's the science ship upgrade. Go back to auto-exploring, please. Our colony ships are on the way. Speaking of colonies, let's see where else we can colonize. A massive alien warband somehow managed to breach the reservation perimeter walls on Nalviab. The alien warriors spread out into the countryside and massacred many of our colonists. Unfortunate. Now, Saddlebari is definitely able to be colonized. Let's go ahead and set up colonization. You know what? Let's make this a voices colony. Screw it. Let's just have people from Homeworld colonize here. You know? Why the heck not? And let's go ahead and put... We're starting to get higher habitability. So why not go ahead and take advantage of it? We don't need our slaves to populate all these worlds. We can populate them ourselves. Alright, so there's that. I also have some additional... Rotanev 3's sub-zero climate is not particularly conducive to intelligent life, or indeed life at all. However, some species have evolved to withstand and master this environment, and Science Officer Glabu Kavarim is interested in seeing just how far these beings will go, given the introduction to some external factors. Something to keep in mind for the future. So if we wanted to uplift those species, we can do that. So we have a couple of Arctic worlds here that we can colonize. same thing. Let's see about just... Let's just have the voices colonize it. Let's do it right there. So this is not...
Anomaly found.
Hold that thought. Oh, nice. The ruins of their cities are still strewn across the surface. So this, apparently, Hixam 3 had a nuclear holocaust. Research. Do I have any planets here already? No, I don't. I was just making sure. So this would be, in fact... What's going on here? Why can't I... Oh, yeah, I've got to select the population first. Duh. So this would be Nal Hodranus. Alright, that's queued up, and now this Arctic world needs... Well, are there any other worlds aside from Arctic worlds? Arctic world, Arctic world. A couple of Savannah worlds. We actually already have... Wow. Alright, so this definitely needs to be colonized. Let's have the voices do it again. So this would be Bryn Met. Because again, we already have Null Brennus here. And this will be Bryn... What's the name for our... We came up with the third. It's based on a planet down here, I think, right? Yeah, nuclear devastation. What a shame. Okay, somewhere down here there is... Let's just go to our planets and sectors. Let's just look this way. I really wish I could look at the full list of planets that we have. Is there not a way to do that? Yeah, see, this is not useful to me. I really wish that existed. There might be a mod that lets us do that. But I know that somewhere around here we have a planet, or we have a system that has 3 planets. And I can't remember what our name was that we designated for the voices language. I can't remember where it was. If you remember, you can feel free to tell me. Yeah, we've got a lot of places we need to colonize. It's insane. So we're going to let those go for now. I can't remember. It started with a K. But we're going to have a 3rd planet in that system, and I want to do it right, damn it. I want to be consistent. Reminds me of a Klingon word. Kapra! Oh, wait, actually, if it was that, it needs to be a Q and then a apostrophe, right? All right, City or 2. This is a continental world. We need to colonize this with our own people. It's only going to cost 30. Let's go ahead and set that up. We'll need to wait a couple of months for that to happen.
Colony established.
Our new settlements on Nalfia Nita have come into contact with the primitive Stone Age aliens native to this world. Let's herd the primitives into reservations. Alright, we are approaching... It's going to be 2 more turns.
Evading hostile fleet.
What? Okay.
Evading hostile fleet.
Ready. Let's do this. Alright, so it's a pretty bleak world with hazardous weather, so these people are not going to be happy here. But we'll find ways to make them happier. There are definitely buildings that can do that. Alright, so this is Nal Sadir. Alright, that construction ship still has nothing to do. How's the terraforming project going? Probably still has a number of years on it, right? Oh wow, 3 infiltrations just finished at once. Yeah, this is going to be done in roughly through... yeah, roughly 3 years. It'll be done. A little bit more than 3. Okay, so we have annexed Heinlein. These people are now of our empire. We have annexed Drogena. They are part of our empire. And we have annexed Utpal Zajkax. They are part of our empire.
Anomaly found.
Alright. Investigate that impact crater. Do I have anything else that I can do with these guys? We have expanded a little bit in this direction, so yes, there is. There are a couple, actually, of new places that I can build on. Alright, so now that this colony's set up, these 2 colonies will be a lot easier to establish, and then hopefully Escala will also be easier to establish. A large amount of ship debris can be found in orbit around this planet, possibly the remnants of some kind of massive fleet action. Okay, before I end this episode, let me take a second. Alright, so we've got 10 battleships, 11 battleships here, a number of cruisers in this fleet. We have a total of 30 cruisers. So let's go ahead and transfer cruisers between... There we go, that's better. Now, we've got several destroyers as well. I need to build 2 more destroyers. And then I think I just want to build more battleships, because I've got room for them. Damn it. Alright, so let's go ahead and build 2 more destroyers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, you know what? Let's double that. Let's build 20 more battleships. We're officially out of money. So maybe... Okay, warp impact. Yeah, we've had that one happen before. Alright, maybe let's go ahead and cancel the extras and build fewer at a time. Because we need to build our territory, or we need to build our income back up. But I will cut this one here. And, of course, this is the end of episode 38, so I would be remiss not to mention, because I get questions from people that are newer to the channel all the time, so those of you who have been around for a while and you wonder, God, H, why do you talk about this stuff all the time? Why do you repeat it? It's because there's always new people. So, the way this works is that in a few episodes, we will hit episode 40 of this series. If you're watching this in the backlog, it doesn't matter. You can just keep watching. But when we get to episode 40, we're going to take a break, just like we did after episode 20. And I would like to continue this series after episode 40, but the Banks update is coming out. So if I continued this series, it would either be in some kind of special extension, maybe that I did, I hate to say this, but maybe over the summer, because there will be more Stellaris to play sooner from the Banks update that I think would be more interesting to do. But I don't want to leave this series completely unfinished. I would like to see if we can encounter the humans. I would like to just continue to expand. I have no problem letting this series go longer, but I still am interested in as much feedback as possible from viewers, new and old, on what your thoughts are. But anyway, yes, at episode 40, this series will take a break. It will not end necessarily, but I will be bringing back Against All Odds Season 3 in the Long Dark for its next 20, hopefully 20. I suspect it might end shy of that, but we'll see, for its next 20. And then after that, before we jump into more Subnautica again, because, again, we're probably not likely to hit 20 episodes in the Long Dark. I could get lucky, but if we don't, if we do hit 20, then I will come back to Stellaris. But if we don't, and I have to start a new series, or I don't have to, but I really want to bring more Subnautica back. Subnautica is looking really good, and I would like to do a new series on Subnautica. So that's something that I'm strongly considering as well. And it's been in the 6 p.m. time slot traditionally. So anyway, just want to let you know that's what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one here. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New science fiction, survival, and or simulation videos air daily at 6 p.m. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.